Chad is located in Central Africa and is one of the largest nations in terms of land area, expanding over 495,800 square miles. Chad, being a landlocked country, has proven difficult, as trade routes must go through neighboring countries, which has had negative security impacts, including things like smugglers and bandits. Although Chad is one of the largest nations in Africa, the land quality is very poor. There are two major climatic zones in Chad, the north and the south. The land in northern Chad is not adequate for farming because it is desert-like and hosts little moisture and extreme heat, while in the south, the soil is waterlogged. This makes sustainable reliance on agriculture very difficult, as the soil quality throughout Chad is very poor and difficult to grow crops. However, although the quality of the land is poor, around 85% of the population relies on the country's agriculture for jobs and economic opportunities. Chad is a relatively poor country, and the national poverty rate being 46.7%. The rural poverty rate in Chad is 52.5%. Chad has a dense and young population, hosting more than 14 million people with an average fertility rate of 4.3. Life expectancy for people in Chad is 51 years, with women on average living to 52 and men living to 50. Average mortality rate between men and women is 367 per 1,000 people. These statistics portray the poor quality of life for people in Chad. Our mission is to improve education and increase literacy rates and the amount of children going to school. In our education system, implementing a sex ed course will hopefully lower infant mortality rates and fertility rates by introducing contraceptives and making them more accessible. By educating more people, we will be able to introduce job opportunities in technology, which will result in lessening the dependency on an economy centered around agriculture. We are working to invest in implementing education for all people, giving every individual an equal opportunity to higher their education. Improving the healthcare system and introducing better access to family planning will invoke major improvement in Chad, and our programs will better the lives of many people. The economy has seen major setbacks, and we want to invest in bringing technology-based jobs to the people of Chad and diversifying their economy.
With our $1 billion grant from the Luna Foundation, we are going to spend $500 million in education, $200 million in diversifying the economy, as well as $200 million in improving the healthcare system. We are going to leave $100 million for an emergency fund in case of droughts, dust storms, or any other sudden disasters that may plague Chad.
Part of our mission is to increase education for all, because as more people become educated, we'll introduce more technology-based jobs to offset the agricultural monopoly on the economy. For education, we wish to implement education for all people, both in urban and rural areas, training in jobs and technology to increase job outlook and economic stimulation. This should be done by training teachers, improving salaries, building more schools so more people have access to education, and to improve access to books and technology. Some of the risks for implementing this is that many men will not agree with women getting an education because of the gender roles in Chad placing women's place of work in the house. The ratio of teacher to pupils is 1 teacher for every 196 pupils. That is a horrible ratio, as students do not get that one-on-one teacher experience. The literacy rate for the total population is 22.3%. For males, it's 31.3%. For females, it's 14%. In order to catapult Chad into a less agricultural-based economy, the nation needs to become more educated. The hopeful outcomes of our efforts to better education is that there will be more equal opportunity for everyone, especially women, to get education. We hope to improve the economy and increase women's place in society. Fertility rate is among the highest in the world, with an average of 6.9 children per woman, while the average in Africa is only 4.5, and in the total world it's 2.5%. Also, only 3% of women use any form of contraception. We would increase health and family planning by making contraception more available to everyone so women have easy access to it. With this implementation, there are some risks, and those risks are that culture clash with contraception due to half the country being Islam, and for women having many children that shows status and strongness in a family. By improving health for Chad, making contraception and family planning more accessible, we would hope that the outcome would be to decrease in total fertility rate and to decrease the spread of HIV and other infections. With Chad's economy being so agricultural based, it is hard for people to break that custom of relying on agriculture for a living. Chad's key economic sectors include gold, uranium, oil, and agricultural, with 85% of the population relying on the country's agriculture for their jobs and economic opportunity. The crops and natural resources that have been most important include grains, oil seeds, tubers, and several leafy vegetables, and cotton is the key earner for the country. The largest economic opportunity for the future of Chad relies on the country's new oil industry, which offers a change from the agricultural-dominated economy. Our objective to shift the economy away from agriculture and into a more industry-based economy is to train people to take on more technology-based jobs and to increase jobs in the oil industry.